Welcome to the Health Coach Nation podcast. My name is Hailey Rowe. I'm a sales and marketing coach and strategist for health coaches, life coaches, and wellness professionals who want to become a leader in their field by building their online community, rocking their sales process, and finally feeling confident about how they promote themselves and their marketing. On this show, we talk about tips to grow your business, save yourself time, and finally be able to create a sustainable, profitable business. Let's get into it. Today's podcast is brought to you by the Zero to Hero Coach Program. This is my 4-month program teaching coaches and online service providers how to grow your online business, book clients consistently, overcome your sales fears, and finally rock your social media visibility. If you struggle to create a sustainable coaching business, this program is for you. Check out HaileyRowe.com and book your free strategy call with my team or myself today. Thank you. Today we're talking about how to select your pricing for your coaching packages or programs or courses. And if you're a coach here watching and you're just not sure if your pricing is too high, too low, put a 1 below, and keep in mind that in the Zero to Hero Coach Program, we go through how to set up your killer offer, how to market it, how to get leads, things like that. And I also have a company where we can do that stuff for you as far as getting you leads and supporting you with growing your sales conversions through more discovery calls and things like that. But anyways, here's a couple things to keep in mind when it comes to your pricing. The first thing you have to ask yourself is, if I was only going to get paid for providing a particular result or end goal, what is that end goal and what is that worth to my ideal clients? So for those of you who are confused about, hey, my program helps with overall health and wellness and it's customized to each person, that's great if you're a health coach, for example, but you have to keep in mind that you want to get specific on what are the end goals or benefits of your program that you could provide if somebody wanted that, and obviously you'll tweak it based on their needs and goals, and what is that truly worth to them? And if you are not sure, there's a couple things you can think about. Number one, what is it worth to have lifetime habits that are, and I'm going to use the health coach example, lifelong healthy habits that maybe add years to their life, that maybe prevent them from having to pay a lot of medical bills, that maybe save them from having to buy expensive fad diets and supplements, etc. So those are the things to consider. So that's step one. Step two is, what is the market's demand for this? How urgent and important is your program regarding the problems you solve in it? And that also can drive up the price or investment. The other thing to think about is, what is the ROI, like we talked about earlier, what's the end goal or benefit? And I know not everybody sells B2B services, business to business, but you still have an ROI from your program, even if it's in a different form of currency, like with your health or with your habits or with your minds, your thoughts, your daily thoughts, not wearing you out anymore, things like that, not having anxiety, etc. And that stuff is valuable, so you need to own that and realize that and price accordingly. So that's part one, what's it really worth? Part two is, who is an ideal fit for this program, and making sure that they are people who either would be able to invest in their wellness or your package, and or they see it as valuable enough that they would want to find the resources to do your package. So for example, rather than, I'll give you an example of a really bad business model that I had back in the day. I was going to do this workshop for teenagers going into college about setting healthy habits, and I realized that they were not motivated and they didn't have an urgent pain point at that time of their life. They were still young and enjoying, no consequences to their health choices, right? And so their parents would be the people who I had to market to, but we couldn't get in front of the parents because we were only able to speak to the school, and it just turned into this whole thing, and they weren't able to pay for it, obviously, because they didn't have jobs and they were young for the most part. So that's an example of ooh, that's not the ideal. Is that really the audience I want to be going for? Who do I want to be serving with this? And can they, would they want my services and be able to pay for it? The other thing to keep in mind is making sure that your bigger, longer packages are a better deal than your a la carte or smaller packages, because you want to position your bigger offer and comprehensive solution as the best option for people, because to be honest, it really is. And also you want to honor people who commit to a bigger program or offer. And the other thing you have to think about is what's the demand. So we've talked about how urgent is a struggle. So demand, what's the end result? What are other people in your industry pricing? Now, here's the part where that to me is lower priority on the pricing list, because coaching is, you can have somebody with like Tony Robbins who charges $250,000 for an hour coaching session, and you can have a new coach who's charging $50 for one single coaching session. So it's so hard to just base your prices on other people, and I recommend, yes, not being aloof to what the industry standards are and what most programs are charging and cost, but I wouldn't let that be the key driver of how you select your price. And the other thing to think about is how are you going to address pricing objections, because to be honest with you, first of all, coaching is an investment, but second of all, no matter what, if you don't position your value, the benefits of what you offer, etc. properly, you're going to probably get price objections. So part one is you need to look at the before, your marketing, how you're positioning the value, making sure you're speaking to your ideal clients' pain points and struggles to make your sales easier. But part two, when you do get investment objections because they either don't know everything yet, they don't know everything about your package, or they aren't, they're not seeing the consequences or the cost of not getting support with a thing that they think they might need support with in the future, then it's going to be harder to close the sale, and you have to make sure you're prepared and you can ask questions and learn really why they don't see the value, and either address that or realize it's not a fit, and they're not a fit for your program. So the thing I want to tell you just off the bat is I have clients who charge for their 3-month programs, and usually they're health coaches or life coaches. I have clients who charge anywhere from $900 for 3 months to $3,000 for 3 months. And sometimes beyond that, if they're more in the life coaching space, or for example, I have a client who charges $5,000 a day for his business executive consulting. So it really, really varies, and you have to go with what you feel comfortable with, where your experience is at, and also, the other things that I mentioned before in this video. So my suggestions would be, number one, make sure you have 2 packages, a big comprehensive one that is like your main core offering that's more expensive, and then maybe a downsell that is maybe shorter term and lower cost, but still the higher end program, bigger program, should look more attractive, because ideally you want to reward people who commit and make the full commitment. So I hope that helps. I'm not going to give you an exact answer and say you have to charge, $500 a month or $1,000, $1,500 a month, whatever. But these are some things to factor in when selecting your pricing. Hope that helps. If you have more questions, let me know, and have a good day. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. And if you liked it and want to reserve your very own free sales audit, go to haileyrowe.com/strategy-call to book your very own free sales audit. On the call, we'll talk more about the common concerns you get from your ideal clients, how to overcome those concerns, how to coach through objections, how to change your mindset around sales, and improve your sales process so you can be closing and converting more clients. I can't wait to connect with you, and go to haileyrowe.com/strategy-call to take the first step. Thanks so much. Have a good day.